Welcome to Foundation Repair Marketing Secrets, the podcast that's rocking the foundation repair industry. Discover how to boost your leads, raise your profits, and lift your digital presence. Together, let's dig deep and transform your foundation repair business.
All righty, guys. Welcome. We have Mike today with us. Mike, thank you so much for being on the podcast. How's your day going?
It's a good day. It's kind of cold here in Texas today, but we're certainly having a good day today.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Good to hear it. What kind of projects do you guys have going on?
Today we have 3 projects going on. We have a one-day project where we'll be driving 9 piers here locally in Wichita Falls. We have a larger project going on in Alney, Texas, just down the road about a mile. Just about an hour. It's about 25 piers. And then we have a concrete breakout project where we're taking out a swimming pool and a hot tub and so forth.
Okay. Awesome. Well, yeah, Mike, how did you get in the business? I'm sure, some people know, but is there any behind the scenes of where you're at?
Well, it was an unusual situation that we just kind of lucked into it, kind of fell into the foundation repair business and been trying to get out ever since. 30 years ago, one of our friends died and we were kind of left taking over his business, and we hadn't intended on it for being this long of a run. We had some other business interest, and but now here we are. This is our sole business. This is all we do is foundation repair.
Amazing. Okay. Got it. How have you guys grown? Is it word of mouth? Is it billboards, internet, radio ads? What are some of those secrets?
So that's a great question. We've tried all of that. Our experience is a couple of things. First of all, we're in Wichita Falls, Texas. It's a small community and it's a stagnant community. We have a military base in the downtown, but we hover right around 100,000 people. And so for us, it's not about growth. It's about providing a better product to our customers, better service, and just being a solid company here locally and staying just a small business here. And we don't really have a desire to get a lot bigger like a lot of companies. And so the answer to that question is we are not actively trying to get larger. We believe better is better. Bigger is not necessarily better.
Mm, which is so funny because in Texas, bigger is always better, but not the case in real life.
Bigger is always better in Texas, with a few exceptions.
Right. No, that's fair. Have you guys maybe dealt with growing pains in the past, and that's led to the mentality of just, kind of staying focused, doing the best quality work you can do?
That's a great question. So the answer to that question is yes. So what we find out is there comes a point where you can no longer manage each job from a office. You have to go out to the job site and oversee them. You got to make sure the job is being done correctly, accurately, and the homeowner is satisfied. And there is it's a very fine line where you have to either triple in size or you have to stay the same size. We run a couple of crews. We have the ability to expand to 4. And so we run about 12 to 15 guys year round. And during the summertime, we balloon out to 20 to 22 guys. And to be honest with you, about 20 to 22 guys is about the maximum that we can manage and ensure that we're going to deliver a product that's going to exceed the customer's expectations 100% of the time.
No, that's fair. Yeah, sometimes people get a little too big for their britches, and that's when real calamity ensues. So that's a good thing for the audience that's listening. Fantastic point that Mike's making is more or less it's okay to want to grow, but there's certain restrictions where you're just not going, the higher you grow, the worse your quality is possibly going to get. So that's super valuable. When you guys were maybe doing a lot more marketing, did you see anything that maybe was the best bang for your buck, like a billboard or radio or anything?
And we still do a billboard occasionally. We're working on one today to introduce one of our new salesmen. He is a sales guy that came over from another company, but it's really more about introducing that individual to the community. Uh, we do have a competitor, and they advertise on TV a lot. We just don't have a high return today. It seems like where the real money or where the best money is being spent is on the internet, uh, podcast, Facebook. But we use yard signs, and we have our trucks are all wrapped with our logos and whatnot. both the crew as well as our technicians that do the evaluations. And we have yard signs we put in front of every job site, but we don't do the traditional TV, radio as much as we used to. Today, just Netflix. Everybody's watching Netflix and Prime, and so how do you get your name out there when you're a small company? It's a different program, I think, if you're Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Chevrolet or Allstate. But when you're trying to buy the same advertising dollar and stay within our 100-mile range, it's tough. And so
Mm,
the answer is we don't spend a lot of money on local television anymore. We do a little billboard and we do some yard signs.
okay. And some digital stuff, is that more in-house that you're doing, or is that like a agency or franchise operation that handles that?
So we have went the full spectrum on the digital. We have hired a media company. We do have an award-winning, great local person here in Wichita Falls that is we spent some money with them marketing both online as well as some targeted advertising on TV and radio and stuff like that. And then we have also tried to do it ourselves. Bought a few Facebook ads here and there and stuff like that. But it's hard when you're a small community, a
Mm,
military base, and so it's kind of like you need a company that knows your market, and so that's our experience.
yeah, working locally in your backyard. That is definitely fair. Well, a few more questions and then we'll wrap up here. So, Mike, if there was something that you could tell yourself, let's say three things that you could tell yourself before you got active in the business, this particular business, what would those three things possibly be?
So, number one, invest in Bitcoin. I would say that's your number one thing. Invest in Bitcoin more. Don't take the
Uh,
money out of Bitcoin. Leave the money in the Bitcoin. Don't take the money out. I would. That's the first thing I would tell myself. But
I'm
as
right
far
there
as
with you.
foundation related, number one or number two, we'll stick with number 1.5 would be stay in school. Don't
Okay.
drop out just because you got hurt in sports. Don't stay in school. Get the PhD. That's the next thing I tell myself. But as far as business, I would tell myself that uh, uh, avoid the bigger is better trap. That's a trap that I
Mm,
felt like I fell into, and it caused a lot of insanity in my personal life. And I didn't make any more money. I just had a lot more trucks, a lot more trailers, a lot more responsibility. And to be honest with you, I delivered a product that was inferior to the product I'm able to deliver today. I would say find your sweet spot and stick with that. And then the last thing I would say is I would say hire loyal, quality individuals to work for you.
okay.
Businesses, my job is not to grow the business. My job is to grow the quality of my employees and let them grow the business.
Love that. Yeah, and it was great because you're succinct. Some people it kind of takes some pulling and prodding, but you had even good answers that were not related to the business. You're just boom, ready to go. I love that. Okay, awesome. So how do you get those good people? Are you using Indeed.com? Is it just very communal and family and friends? I know is a good strategy as well.
So that's a great question. And I like to hire young, smart people. And almost all large cities have universities. I used to hire out of TCU with their program Frog Jobs, TCU Horned Frogs, and I would hire the
Oh yeah.
frog jobs. Here locally, we have our Mustang program where and I bring them in on this internship program, and they work hard, and you can identify some that away. Certainly, those are top-notch individuals that you can have. And then the last thing is I look for people that are trainable, that have a high level of intelligence, not necessarily as much as education. Education is important, but you give
Mm,
me somebody who's trainable. That's what I try to do. For our crew guys, I try to hire guys that are do-doers, not can-doers. I got caught up a long time ago hiring people that can do anything, and I don't hire anybody that can do anything. I hire people that will do anything.
okay. Interesting. I like that distinction. That's super cool. All right, so super beneficial with that. Do you have any last parting wisdom really that you would love to share with people who maybe listen? Because I mean, clearly you have an abundance of wisdom. I've heard a
Well,
lot already.
what I say to you is this, is the number one thing to be successful in business is learning to go to bed at night, not get up in the morning. If you can learn to go to bed at night, you'll be successful in business. It's all about going to bed. And if you can just go to bed, you'll be able to get up out of bed. You'll be able to go to work. The early bird gets the worm, but the early bird is always the bird that goes to bed early. And so I go to bed early,
Mm,
get up early, and I work hard. And so I appreciate you taking time and putting me on your podcast.
yeah, I love that, and I think part of what you're saying in that, maybe just for some of our audience who may not get it, is that part of being able to go to bed early because you guys do high quality work. You're not worried like you used to be, maybe perhaps when you guys were really stretching yourself. Now you can go to bed happy. You know your customers are happy. You know your team's happy. There's always chaos, but there's way less chaos now than perhaps when you guys were really stretching. Is that possibly what I'm understanding?
I think you're all over it right there. I think you really are. And I think being able to inspect what you expect and your guys know it is important.
Okay, fair. Well, Mike, how can people who need you guys? Maybe you could explain who your target audience is. Of course, it's in your community, but can you tell us who may need you guys and how they could reach out to your company?
Sure, absolutely. So obviously, a homeowner that has a crack and cracks keep coming back every moisture cycle, whether it be dry or wet. That's a primary customer of ours. Our probably our number two customer is the real estate agent who has had an issue with a buyer and a seller. Home inspector flagged a possible foundation structure related issue. We certainly market to realtors that way. And then lastly is a person that needs capital to do a home repair, such as a foundation repair. We do a lot of financing here, and so just for a little bit of money down and a couple of $100 a month, we'll be happy to come out and to stabilize your home, get the foundation up to a structural integrity, no longer being an issue type of situation. And so if you're looking for us, you can find us obviously on the web. Google search and Wichita Falls will bring us right up.
Okay, good phone number or website that you
Sure,
guys want to plug in?
fallsfoundationrepair.com and 940-337-8200.
Okay, awesome. Well, Mike, we are going to sign off on the podcast. Thank you guys for listening. We'll hang out on the line and we'll get the recording stopped. Thank you so much, Mike.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for joining us today for another revealing episode of Foundation Repair Marketing Secrets. Don't forget to subscribe so you can keep discovering the tools, tactics, and techniques to ensure your online presence is as solid as the foundations you repair. Keep digging deep, and we'll see you in the next episode.